Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Thursday night. And you know what Thursday night means. That's right, it's another quiz arena with the surgeons of horror. And tonight we have a very special guest with us. He is the director of the recently released Shudder original film of The Marshes. Please welcome Roger Scott.
Hi everyone, thank you.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Good.
Fantastic.
Not in lockdown, so good for us down here in Hobart. Not so great for everyone else, but
yeah,
we're enjoying it on everyone else's behalf. So
that's
you
it.
Feel relaxed.
It's
about that.
We've had a lot of different people from all around the nation. I don't think we've had someone from... Oh, well, you have had someone from Tasmania. So it's another ilk that you get into it and are out there. And for those of you who haven't seen the film The Marshes, it's a fantastic little film out there. I've seen the trailer, and I've popped that down in the description that you guys should definitely check out. But, Roger, did you want to just tell us a little bit about The Marshes?
Sure, it's an eco-horror set in far western New South Wales at a place called the Macquarie Marshes. And it's about a group of young researchers who head out to conduct their research, and things go horribly wrong.
Ooh, go horribly wrong. Always.
I mean, it's the only way for things to go wrong, isn't it?
Exactly, especially in this sort of a genre. I mean, it's come to expect it. Fantastic. The film is based around the Waltzing Matilda poem, or at least the parts of that, and that was something that definitely grabbed me. The second that, I saw the trailer, I love folklore or hints about those sort of things. There's a Yowie film I wanted to do years ago just because of the idea of the bunyip and those Australian folklore stories. So
I think they're fertile ground for all of these sorts of stories, and I was sort of surprised that something hadn't been done around the around Waltzing Matilda, reimagining him, the swagman, as a monster was pretty fun.
Yeah, as a not so jolly swagman.
Yeah. Oh, he was jolly. He enjoyed his work.
Oh yeah, he was jolly. Yeah, exactly.
He was jolly.
Well, that's it. At least we had that appreciation in there. But yeah, no, it crosses those sort of balance of it's a little bit sort of I don't want to compare it to Wolf Creek, but just to give people an idea of the sort of vibe that it has. It has that sort of almost Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of film. What kinds of films were your inspiration, or something that definitely inspired maybe even shots or scenes?
It was kind of mixed and varied. I had Deliverance was there's a few references in the film. Deliverance is a really big influence for me. One that I think if you're going to do is something that has has some sort of statement about the environment at its heart. I mean, that's one of the classics.
Yeah.
So that was definitely one that we were strongly looking at. But I mean, that's a sort of survival horror that's or redneck survival horror. So it had more in common with, as you said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which also is that classic young people jump in a car, head out. I mean, it really set the scene for all of those sorts of horror films that came after it. So somewhere between those two films lies a bunch of the intentions for our film in terms of tone and that sort of thing, like the tropes, the beats that we were trying to hit, because we were trying to mess with the tropes in order to kind of take people in a slightly different direction.
Yeah.
And
Was that
there's
unexpected element?
Japanese film called Onibaba,
Oh, great.
which is super weird and really cool, and is one of the only other films that I've seen that's set in a really in an environment sort of similar to the marshes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there was different things coming in from different angles into that film.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Because even I remember one of the iconic shots that's at the end of the trailer, at least, is the up angle shot of the hooks in the tree, and
Lethal,
it's
yeah.
yeah, and it's great just because I like playing, was it Dead by Daylight, and that's the whole thing. Like, he puts you on the hook, like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So yeah, it's and the foreboding, like you can see the sinews and stuff on there. So it's got that great visceral feel. I'm a huge fan of the anticipation is the scariest part in a lot of my guilty pleasure horror films. So seeing images like that, and even just the talk, as you said before, like why has no one ever played with literally the story of what happens with the guy in the Swagman by the Billabong? I mean, it's an untapped little folklore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it felt like it was waiting to be done. And I mean, this, in terms of some of the themes of the film, is sort of an obvious choice to delve into that stuff. So it was a great vehicle
Yeah.
for. It was great. It was a great villain.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's it. And again, the good thing about it is in the trailer we don't necessarily get to see the villain. At least I don't think so. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens in that, so it's good. Almost in that Black Christmas sort of esque. It leaves it, up to or at least to see the film. So yeah, which you can, viewers, see that at shutter.com, so you can check that out online now. So yeah, no have to wait till the cinemas are open, just jog over there and give it a squiz. We'll say a g'day to some of the people that we've got returning. We've got Phil Robinson saying howdy ho, g'day, how you seeing? Steve Moraska's back, hey hey hey, we're the monkeys. Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons, greetings and salutation lovelies. Always lovely to hear from you, Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons. And she, of course, was our winner last week, so congratulations there. And Phil Robinson, he's in Hobart as well, so Phil Robinson's there as well. So he might be in there. I don't know, we've said Tassie's, but I've been to, I said, what's the mountain there? What's that big, beautiful mountain that's in the middle?
Wellington or Cradle Mountain?
I think it's Cradle Mountain, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there, and that was absolutely gorgeous. It's a stunning area of the world down there, and especially historical-wise, you have some of the oldest rock formations. Like the mountains there are some of the oldest rock in the world. It's really, really cool, and it's a very unique place. So yeah. Gorgeous place. We got Lux Voco saying hey hey, and Robert Woods returning saying hello. Robert Woods, of course, was one of our guest players before. He's got an ideal host, which is screening at the Sydney Underground Film Festival, which you can check out as well. We have a link in our previous live stream, which is still up, that you can check out there, and we also have it on the videos that he was in. So yes, welcome aboard. Good to see you here. Tell us what you guys have been seeing in the horror world. It doesn't have to have been released this year necessarily, but maybe something that you saw that you liked. Tell us something that you saw that you didn't like, or something that maybe you were expecting a little bit more of. I know that tongue twister, Malignant has recently come out, and I didn't know too much about that, bar what the term malignant means, so I was quite interested to see, at least I haven't seen the film, but I've seen a couple of trailer reviews for it, and it seems like a bit of fun. Well, Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons says, she just spammed my social media. Oh, fantastic, thank you so much. Beautiful. Yeah, well, we do want to get as many people along out there playing, because tonight in our tournament we're going to be giving away again another dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm sure I don't just speak for myself when I say that everybody loves Krispy Kreme donuts. Whether or not you're on a diet or not, somebody I'm sure that you know will appreciate at least one Krispy Kreme donut. So yeah, that's going to be in our quiz and our, I want to say round 4, but who knows how many rounds we're playing tonight. We have many, many games. We also have a prize wheel. Not a prize wheel, a spin wheel that we're going to spin to see what games we're going to play. So, yes. Lux Voco saw and thought Malignant was fantastic. Awesome, fantastic. Robert Woods said he saw The Night Books on Netflix, and it was delightful. A kid's horror. A kid's horror. That's always fun. I don't know. What's it? Is it Monster Squad? That to me. Have you seen Monster Squad, Rod?
No, I haven't. I've seen Night Books advertised. I thought that production value looks excellent, and I think seeing something that's more PG or M in horror is pretty fun. I'm keen to see. I've sort of been delving more into the sci-fi side of things because of what I'm writing at the moment. But
Cool.
I'm pretty keen to see. Has anybody seen the Fear Street trilogy yet?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that previously. Yeah, do let us know if any of you have seen the Fear Street trilogy, because it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I love that idea of going going into those separate time periods with the same story, and I think, do they finish in six? It's good. Okay, that's
cool. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think they finish on 1644 or something like that. Is that right?
That's
They finish
right.
with the earlier story.
Yeah, it's almost like a Crucible sort of time period look.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that's really intriguing, because again, it's not just, we've had the 80s genre a lot. I don't know. I'm a kid of the 80s and I love the 80s, but it does seem like it's been done to death. So I like it, especially when you got a horror film. Yeah, spread it out.
Period horror. 1666. Sorry, I said 1644. Yeah, I think that's 1666 is the last one. So I think that's kind of cool to go back, like reverse chronology there. But
Yeah.
I love period horror.
No, absolutely. Even when you were talking about the sci-fi element of time travel or playing with time, Somewhere in Time, or the book Bid Time Return by, I think, Richard Matheson, is a film that I've loved. It's a romantic film done in, I think, 1982 with Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. But it's a beautiful film, but it's tragic. And because it plays with that sci-fi element of time travel, and in its unique own way of perceiving it too. It's not a vehicle that you're going back in, or a phone booth or anything like that. So yes, the Fear Street trilogy. Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons says they hope they go through with the promise of making more Fear Street. Yes, hopefully they will, because if they're doing something in that sort of the time periods, there's got to be more time periods out there that people can utilize. I mean, 1880s is rife for so many stories around the world that had multiple serial killers and events that happened. Fantastic. Souls in the chat there. Fantastic. Hopefully we'll get him along playing very soon. He hasn't admitted yet, but that's alright. We also have some confetti as well, so hopefully you can hear these as well. I don't know. We do have one game tonight that we're going to be playing where the audio will be a factor that we want to keep involved, so we'll just be aware of that too whilst we're going. My background is doing something crazy now. I'll play with that in a second. We've got Lux Voco. You can't mention it as enough. As Above, So Below. Great horror. Tomb Raider meets the Serpent. Ooh. Oh, the Serpent and the Rainbow meets Harry Potter. Fantastic references there.
That's a pretty cool mashup.
Yeah, the Serpent and the Rainbow, obviously, what was it? That had Bill Pullman from, I remember him from Spaceballs. But many, many different things. The President in Independence Day, I think it was. But yeah, so you're obviously a lover of horror and sci-fi and all that. I definitely try and keep the gamut quite wide. Like, we've multiple times had questions from The Labyrinth or other things that at least have kept me traumatized as a child. So that falls under that sort of horrific thing there too. But has there been any major influence that you would say has been something that you've loved, like a guilty pleasure maybe that you'll always go back to, or know that you can always enjoy?
Well, Deliverance, I'll watch and rewatch. And I think the more that, I watch something like that, I see the craft involved in the film, like just the blocking of the actors, the way they blocked back then. Um, that it perhaps relates to the fact that a couple of the actors were predominantly stage actors, and so they were used to working that way. But to lock the shot off and to block the actors for an entire scene rather than relying on editing your way around that, for me, is a little bit of a lost art, and that's something that I'd like to achieve again, because I think there's a tension that is involved with doing that is just kind of unique to that style of filmmaking. So there's stuff like that, but The Shining, The Night
Yes.
of the Hunter, the various massacres.
Yes.
Like the number one is great, but I really enjoyed the remake. It got kind of panned, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
poor Ned Beatty. Exactly. Yeah, he died recently. I mean, he was pretty old,
Yeah.
but yes. So, I mean, that was his first film role. He'd just been a stage actor prior to that.
Really. Wow.
Um,
Well, that's interesting enough because again, Bill Pullman apparently was a stage actor before doing Spaceballs. Apparently, that's how Mel Brooks saw him in a theater. Just
yeah,
segue
right.
tangent. But yeah, no, I'm also loving the fact that you said and brought up like choreography, or I a lot of the time put blocking into the terms
Mhm.
of choreography just because I start off as a dancer. But it's all the same, whether it's fight choreography, whether it's movement of and placement of actors, extras, whatever. It's something that has to be repeatable and resettable. And I think that it's important too because you can say at what point you need the choreography to pick up on in a certain shot, especially in the days when you had film and working with that. But working with filmmakers like Stanley Kubrick, someone who did shots 50 times over, having everyone's on the same page, knowing, oh, okay, we're resetting to this point. That's where the choreography is just essential. I mean, the maze in The Shining. How many people got lost in that and just heard, was it Stanley Kubrick laughing because they got lost in there?
That's that's a bucket list for me. Is
Yeah.
visiting the Overwatch.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Well, even was it the Stanley Hotel, which Stephen King wrote and based the first book on, has now started to make its own maze, hedge maze out the front. So they've started to cross those things over. And what was it? Someone, oh, now this is going to trouble me. I've got to remember what it is. Someone said that they wanted to do something at the Stanley recently. It was a documentary I was watching. Can't remember it. That's going to play with me for a second there. But we just had a Jaws 3D reference from Phil Robinson. From experience, don't use Jaws 3D. My daughter laughed all the way. Yeah. Well, Piranha, I think it was Piranha 3D. That's one of those, like, I love to watch because it's so schlocky. So yeah, but I mean, you can't look at the original Evil Dead. I mean, people who took a look at that and go, oh, that's not scary because it looks so schlocky. I mean, the things in that make it schlocky are partially terrifying all the more on my end because you can see that. You can see like little tubes and stuff like that are they've since removed in post and stuff. But it's those movie making practical effects that make your mind boggle as to justifying it in the terms of the story that's being conveyed, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the first one I remember seeing. Actually, I mean, Doctor Who, when I was really young, used to freak me out. So that was a
Yeah.
sort of for me, that was a mix. I'm talking um, early to mid 80s. I was
Mm.
quite young, and that was about all I could handle. And I went to a friend's house. We didn't have a VHS, but my friend did, and he'd gotten hold of this horror movie. Was it Return of the Living Dead Part Two?
Oh, yeah.
Um, and it's just I can still picture scenes in that movie. It's like
Mm.
that was probably my first great horror movie experience.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, that's it. I brought up I think Teabag, it was a TV show in England that I saw little bits of. But since watching it as an adult, I didn't realize how pantomime it was presented on its film. And I think that was sort of what allowed me to go into that world. Whereas something like Dark Crystal was, because that same thing, it just, the vibe of that energy of that world was just so off-putting. So it didn't necessarily need to be something that fell into that genre for me to take something horrific away from it.
Oh, yeah, look, tone can do a lot of heavy lifting, especially
Oh
when you're
yeah.
an impressionable youngster.
Well, that's it. And our interpretation of what our brain is having to do to justify what we're seeing, I think is something that's it's sort of put aside a lot nowadays. But we've just had a couple of mentions out there. We've got Fright Night by Phil Robinson, which is a fantastic film. I love Fright Night. And the remake, which they did with, was it Colin Farrell? I always get those Farrells mixed up.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was good, the
Same.
remake.
And it was its own thing, which I thought was good. They didn't try and replicate a lot of the things, even with the stylistic nature of the vampires. So that was really, really good. Was it?
That was like the remake of Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
You know, I was I was really mortified that they would try and remake that movie, and
Yeah.
then when I eventually saw it, I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
it's actually pretty good.
I put off watching it because I think at the time that it came out, someone said, no, don't watch this, watch the original. Watch the original, I loved it. And that's what made me go, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But then I saw it a couple of years later, and I had forgotten or didn't match it together with the other film, and I'll watch spoilers all through the day and watch reviews before I see a film, because a lot of the times either it'll give me something to look out for or something to prepare for. But yeah, that's a perfect example. There's another film which I'm trying to think. I think it was a foreign film. No, I just thought of a terrible example. I think it was it the Bad Boy? It wasn't Bad Boy Bubby. It was an Asian film that they remade with someone like, the guy who plays Thanos. And it was like a guy who gets locked into this hotel room for years and years and years. But the Asian film that I saw was just, like, it just tears you apart. It's so emotional, and the way that it's set out and plays out in the whole film, it sets you up for that. The same way as, I don't know, Battle Royale, maybe it's not the best example, but when I was a kid, that did the same thing. The way it set it up just tore me apart at the end of it. And that's something that I think a lot of remakes don't do, but when they do it right, it really needs to be praised. So that's a perfect example of it there, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it's done well, then my artistic sensibilities can be damned.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. We're even seeing that with the new Ghostbusters. I'm really keen to see that new Ghostbusters. I'm keen to see anything that comes out of the popular nature, whether or not it's good, whether or not it's big budget or low budget. You know what I mean? Because as long as there's people making something for that nostalgia or that world to keep existing, especially now when we've got expanded universes, we don't want everything owned by the mouse. So yes, fantastic. We've got another one. Oh, Canine, you saw Fright Night at the drive-in. That would have been really cool. I think last week I said to Saul, I was on the full moon session, so I really would like to see if anyone had seen The Blob in a drive-in, because I think that would have been a lot of fun.
I saw Ghostbusters at the drive-in. I saw, and it was a double feature, so I got to see Blue Thunder and Ghostbusters in the one sitting.
That would have been great. That would have been really great. Yeah, with
It was.
the weapons in that and just how they work on film. That would be so good to see it on such a large outdoor screen. Something that hopefully we can go back to. Maybe not drive-ins so much, but I know that a lot of local councils were having big festivals in the park before lockdown happened where they were screening films. So that'd be another great thing. I don't know if they'd go for the horror films. They probably want the more family things. But Ghostbusters is that perfect meld of comedy and horror. And I don't know about you, but I personally think that they go hand in hand. They're like that Ouroboros. They're right on that edge there.
Shaun of the Dead classic. Like kind of reinvigorated the horror comedy, really.
Yeah, yeah. Ready Player One, Lux Boko saying, was dripping with nostalgia. Great horror elements with the Stanley Hotel. Yeah. with the Overlook Hotel, because that one was the reference to the
Overlook. I
Stanley
said Overwatch.
Kubrick.
Yeah, the
That's all right.
Overlook.
The Overwatch Hotel. When you said that, I just imagined. I don't know if you played the computer game, but like the time traveling girl going through, then the big diva bot with a machine. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good game if you ever played that one. But yeah, no. They had that great sequence where they're all going in there as avatars, and they go up to the doors of the elevator, which open up, and the blood sweeps them away. There's on my YouTube channel, Rushcutter Entertainment, we've got the making of a documentary that Vivian Kubrick made. It's just her running around with, I think, a 16mm camera behind there. But you get to see a lot of like little behind the scenes things of Jack Nicholson preparing, brushing his teeth and stuff like that. But also Shelley Duvall and some of the stuff that she had to go through. Like there's one moment where she's literally showing the hair that was pulled out when she had to do the takes for a the scene getting out of the window in the bathroom. So yeah. K9 said he saw Dead and Buried in 1981 at the drive-in. Oh, that was cool. I don't know if I've seen Dead and Buried. My first snuck-in film, Evil Dead 2, Missed the Fly. I don't know. Does that mean that was a double feature? And, like, The Fly was on first with the Evil Dead 2, but you only snuck in halfway through so that you were only able to see Evil Dead 2? I don't know, that's me justifying a lot there. Do you have a favourite? Do you like Evil Dead? I guess I should start off with.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, good.
I didn't end up seeing... I have not seen yet the series.
Ash vs. Evil Dead? Yeah?
Yeah, so I'd be keen to check that out when I get a moment. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love the Evil Dead. It's great.
Yeah, no, that's...
And actually, speaking of remakes, I love the Cabin in the Woods remake too.
Oh, yes! Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. And that sort of thing too, where you've got so much expanse like there. You could easily do another 20 films in that sort of style. But I think that the argument would probably be made that the story has been told with what the storytellers wanted to say. But yeah, that's a perfect example. But even, do you have a favourite of the Evil Deads? Because I know that, like, because the first one was pretty much remade in Evil Dead 2, people have their biases, but are they all equal to you, or do you have a favourite? Would there be one that you'd recommend to someone?
I saw them all really kind of close together when I was younger. So for me, they're all kind of one movie going experience.
No, that's good. Yeah, I think that's a good way of seeing it. Or at least I do the same thing with the 3 films, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 1 and 2. Just because, again, it's that contained story, then you've got,
Well, it's that sort of, the character is so, is so idiosyncratic that it's kind of, it's his, it's definitely his show.
Yeah.
Did you ever see a film called Bubba Hotep?
Bubba Hotep? I don't think so. Oh, no, I haven't. It's been recommended to me, I think, multiple times.
Yeah, so I was, sorry, what's the actor's name again? His, Ash?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah, so it's Bruce Campbell and now I'm going to forget the other actor who died not long after making Bubba Hotep, but he's, was a really renowned actor and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. It was great seeing him. Yeah, Elvis, him thinking his Elvis Presley. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that's great because he even had that spin-off film too. I think it was called My Name Is Bruce Campbell. I think it was called My Name Is Bruce Campbell. Yeah, where he was fighting some ancient Chinese resurrected thing there. But we've got as well. There's a musical, which is an off-Broadway musical, which is out there, which I'm always trying to throw in little excuses with some that's schlocky fun. The biggest thing in that, all the productions you can see on YouTube, is that they try and cover the audience in blood and douse them in blood. So it's a lot of that sort of feeling and fun vibe to it. That and practical effects, being in a theater, or if you've ever done a scare attraction, animatronics like explosions going off, things getting smashed through doors, or even just wood hitting wood, can create a vibration through you which can't be replicated on film or VR or in a computer game, I don't think. And so that's another reason why I love crossed genres, because I know that there's been a Shining, multiple, I think, Shining musicals, and a Carrie musical. There's even been, what was it, the Groundhog Day musical, but that I don't think lasted a week. But that was done by Tim Minchin, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, My Name is Bruce, that was it, yeah, Surgeons of Horror said that there. We've got Return of the Living Dead, is always a go-to for Lux Voco, comedy horror at its best. Have a mention for The Frighteners, yes, Steve Maresca said that, horror comma. I'm saying that wrong, but you know what I mean. Horror comedy, and again with Michael J. Fox, which is like, you know, he's Hollywood royalty and TV royalty as well. Speaking of as well some other TV and Hollywood royalty, recently I was very happy to see that the creators of Rick and Morty have at least been following Twitter lines, or at least interviews with Christopher Lloyd, where he said that he wanted to do some sort of a crossover. So finally, we can have a crossover of Rick and Morty and Christopher Lloyd getting into it. Although it is kind of scary, as you'll kind of see here.
100 years, Morty! 100 years! RickandMorty.com!
So yeah, a lot of fun there. And for you guys out there, we haven't started the quiz just yet, but if you guys can tell me who the other person in that clip was. So one person, of course, was Christopher Lloyd from the Back to the Future and so many other films. But yeah, tell us if you know what that other person was from. There was a main film franchise that he was from. Obviously, now a couple, but yeah, him. Oh, beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, we may as well have joining us Mr. Sol Muerte. Here we go. Welcoming Sol Muerte as he is going to be joining our little queue just here to join our discussion on all things before we get into our round of spinning our wheel with a good old poker song. So, how are you, Mr. Sol Muerte?
I'm well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect, thank you.
And of
I
course,
don't know what was going on, audio issues left, right and center, and I couldn't turn off. I'm just going to turn off my other link, just a sec.
No, that's all good. For anyone who was watching our live stream last week, we thank you for rejoining us again this week. We had some connectivity issues, and so I'm very aware of the problems that we're going to have technical-wise. But of course, Sol, we have just been yapping away a little bit about all the horror things that we love. But of course, it's the director of The Marshes, which is available on Shudder, and that is, of course, Roger Scott. So I don't know if you guys have met yet.
We have a long time ago now, back when The Marshes was originally in the festival circuits, which, dare I say, was 2017. Am I right there, Roger?
Yeah, it'd be pretty close, I think, because we wrapped principal shooting at the end of 2015, and then we had an exceedingly long post-production period. Yeah. So yeah, it must be 2017 or thereabouts. Maybe
I want to say that was it part of SUF? Was that when it screened? Because I kind of want to. I'm trying to remember if it was the Sydney Underground Film Festival. I know it was one of the festival circuits anyway.
Yeah, it was.
Or was it Monster Fest? It could have even been Monster Fest.
No, I think maybe it was the Underground. We filmed. Yeah. We screened at George Street, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
George Street cinemas.
George Street. Yeah. So I had the pleasure of, I'm just hooking you up to the proper audio, then hopefully I don't. No, that doesn't work. Can you hear me okay still?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Cool. I lost audio for a second there. Yeah. So but you and I had a bit of a sit down and a chat about the movie for one of our podcasts too, for the Citizen of Horror podcast. So that was all exciting and fun from my perspective. Which I really, really loved. And I know you're here in front of me, but I really loved this film. I thought it was a really
thank you.
There's a lot more going on there than your average horror flick. Obviously, it's got a deep ecological meaning behind it. But I think the way it's handled and the visual elements in it are amazing. And I think from memory when we chatted about it, you said it. One of the great things about it is that you're able to shoot an area of Australia that isn't often captured on film, and you have the opportunity to do this. And I, for one, think it adds. It's an extra character in the movie, isn't it? Essentially,
Look, it is, and I mean, we said that ourselves when we were making the film, and
Yeah.
you hear it said often that a location, oh well, it's it's another character in the film, and I think that's only true if the film would change if you move locations. Sometimes you can have a great location, but actually the story wouldn't change.
Yeah.
If it were shot somewhere else, but this is a classic case in point where it is one of the characters because everything would be different without that location.
Definitely, 100%. And if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. As we said, it is on Shudder. Is it just Shudder in Australia, or is it Shudder global?
No, it's Shudder worldwide. They bought the worldwide rights for that. So
yeah, perfect. Because I know we often get a few American kind of listeners on this as well. So definitely go check that out, guys.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's available everywhere. So yeah, if you feel like indulging, that'd be great.
I definitely recommend it. It was good fun. So is it too early to chat about your next project yet? Was it Screen Tasmania that's backing you guys?
Yeah, so Screen Tas have given us some early stage development funding for a film called The Sunshine Project, which is based on a short story that I wrote. So I'm working with Stu Willis, who's a great genre screenwriter. Mm-hmm. And we're just in the early stages of making that into a film, or into a script. At any rate, I'd be very optimistic if I said it will definitely become a film. But at the moment, I just take the steps that are in front of me and enjoy that process. And so for me, that's been a lot better for my mental health, just to really. I mean, it sounds strange, but to work out how to enjoy the development process, because it can be, I think if you have the wrong mindset, it can be really unrewarding, and it feels, you spend all of this time writing, and most of what you write doesn't get read and doesn't get seen, and that is that can be deleterious to your mental health. It's the same for any script writer, and a lot of directors, sort of have the same feeling. It's a common discussion that we'll have amongst each other, is getting a perspective on things. So for me, I'm happy with these steps we're taking, and I'll take the other steps when they're in front of me.
Of course, and it is one of those processes. You're as we said, at the writing stage, and who knows what this will transform into at this stage. So that's part of the fun. Having written stuff as well, I kind of appreciate that journey. But it is a lonely journey, isn't it? Really, until it's out there. So it's yeah. So that's kind of thing. So there's been a little while between the Marshes and this coming to fruition, and it's something that struck me today as I was just thinking about the timeline between the two. Is the world has definitely changed in a massive way between 2017 and today. How much of that has impacted you in this writing process at the moment?
It's a good question. I suppose, unfortunately, my preoccupations with the current script, which are some of the preoccupations I had with the Marshes, well, it's a progression. Yeah, would be a good way to put it. The preoccupations are still current, and unfortunately, in my opinion, will be current for the rest of human existence. And that's the central issue in that story that I was trying to come to terms with. And for me, that period of time, a lot has happened for me personally, and in terms of what's happened in the world, the two are entwined. And my attempts to come to grips with that. So, the Marshes was really the micro scale, that location is at the very centre of the water resource debate in Australia at the moment. The Macquarie Marshes is the middle of the Murray-Darling Basin, and that's where all the argy-bargy is happening. We chose that place for that very reason. So that's looking at a microcosm and sort of exploding out. Whereas the Sunshine Project looks both at the micro and the macro and tries to draw those together. And the question really at the heart of it is, how do we live in this world? How do we come to grips with it? You know, I've had my own journey has been one of over a fairly long period of time of trying to come to grips with it. And so this was my best attempt to put my preoccupations into a story without being prescriptive. I was just, this is what, you know, just writing off my deep concerns and seeing what came out. And one of the things in that film, I mean, this is, although it's a sci-fi, I mean, these are really the elements of horror, are these deep fears and concerns that we have, particularly you know, about the present and the future, how those things are manifesting. So, and that's why genre is so great, is because you can play around with these things in a really robust way, and they come to easily symbolize in an audience's mind. You know, the monster is, it's a monster, but of course it's instantly something else. And so they engage with that really quickly. And so that's, you know, that's why I love genre. So the world has changed. This is about a changed world, and sliding baselines really was one of the things that was preoccupying me, which is the idea. I wasn't aware of it when I was first preoccupied with it, because they hadn't sort of given it a name. But coming from a biological sciences background, you watch that phenomenon. So I'm glad that it now has a name, and you can say, all right, so what I'm worried about is sliding baselines and how the world gets, you know, worse, and we adapt to it. And that's both great and terrible at the same time, you know, and it's always going to be great and terrible. No matter how bad the world gets, we will find a way to be happy in it. But, you know, what do we lose along the way? So, I mean, that stuff, all of those things, and this moment that we're in time, has been feeding into that story. So that's a really, I'm sure people didn't want that really long-winded explanation of my internal state.
It's okay, Roger. We're live. It's okay. It's all good.
People need to pay for that, so that's good.
Yeah, look, I for one, I love the whole creative process. So kind of getting an insight into your creativity and the mindset that you're going through there is fabulous. And I can't wait to see what comes of it. It'll be a really interesting ride. I definitely think it'll be cool, and I wish you all the best with getting that process underway.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. How are we going, Richard? Are we at a point where we can start playing, or do you want us to shoot some breezes a bit more?
I'm always up some games, as you always should know. But yes,
100%.
No, it's fantastic. We'll have some confetti there, and hopefully there's no audio problems. Nice. Hopefully you can hear all okay.
I definitely can at the moment. Yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, we'll just mention again that we've got our sponsor this week for this week's prize in the tournament. It's going to be from Krispy Kremes, so it's another dozen donuts. So yes, make sure that you compete in our quiz for that. All you need to do is subscribe, and you can get into chatting in there. But before we do that, we're going to be playing some games. We did have a little question out there before, because we showed the clip, of course, from what was it? The new Rick and Morty.
100 years, Morty. 100 years. RickandMorty.com.
And I asked you guys who was the other person in that clip. So it was Christopher Lloyd in that, of course, from Clue and Back to the Future. And in the comments, of course, Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons knew who it was and even wrote down the correct spelling, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yes, nice. It's awesome. Spelling. Mwah, chef's kiss. It was Jaden Martell, of course, from the It franchise. Before that, Robert Woods yelled out, "That kid from It!" So he got there as well.
So is he one of the ones that's going to be in the Lost Boys reboot?
His photo was up there. At least that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw something about that the other day. I was thrilled and horrified at the same time. I was like, "Don't fuck it up." Don't fuck it up.
Well, here's the thing. I'm normally quite open-minded when it comes to remakes, and I know there's some that people argue that are a bit kind of, you can't go there, you can't touch that. And I feel for this one, I felt really quite angry about the notion of it, and I was like, oh, that's a new feeling. I'm normally, like I said, really quite, yeah, whatever, bring it on, new generation, it'll all be good. But no, I'm actually quite disturbed by this notion. I'm still rocking myself to sleep at night. But yeah, no, look, it'll be interesting to see the mix of it as it comes out. These things always kind of come back around again, you know. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it also could just be one of those things that's like a TMZ throw out there, a BuzzFeed article. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I think this one's growing legs, man.
Oh no.
So
well, it also could be a Sonic situation. They could hear the backlash and they could, not give him real teeth.
Well, that's what I'm interested about actually, because I've seen a lot of backlash, but then mainly from people my age. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it, or whether, as in, like, if it does get made, what the box office will look like in response to that. Anyway, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, totally. It's always fun and always interesting. Great. Okay, so then why don't we jump into some games here? So now we do have a bunch of games. We've got Forbidden, Venkman Burn in Hell, Ins and Outs, Chrono Loco, Brittany Toxic Avenger to play. So rather than asking you guys what you would like to play, I thought we'd try out something that I had on a previous game which I played with in Promedy, which was the Wheel of Four Tunes. So the Wheel of Four Tunes is here, and it is literally just a spin wheel. So it has the ability to be spun, and I can even give you guys the ability to spin it. It would mean that you would have to open up a link, but I don't know whether you like to do that. Would either of you like to spin the wheel?
I don't mind. I can do it, or Roger could do it. He's our guest, so like.
It's all your soul.
Okay, let's go, and I'm just going to drop this then into the chat because I haven't tried this yet.
What's this one here that says "Let's kill Saul"? I mean, what's that about?
Oh no, that's not for your eyes. You can't see that one.
What's that about?
That one is there. So yeah, on the spin wheel we do have Ins and Outs, Venkman Burn in Hell, Forbidden, Chrono Loco, and Brittany Toxic Avenger. So if someone wants to grab that link that's in Zoom there, then you can grab that and spin that wheel. If not, I can spin it from here.
Yeah. Where have you sent it to?
In Zoom. In the Zoom chat.
Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Let me see what happens. This is just loading up. Okay. So what do I do? Just click it?
Awesome. Yeah, just click it.
Boom.
Okay, that didn't work, so don't worry about that. Just let me spin it. Here we go. But hopefully you should enjoy the tunes. So I'm a big fan of Weird Al Yankovic music, and he enjoys a good polka. So polka de you! Beautiful. So yes, Forbidden is the choice that we have made. Fantastic. So we're going to remove
That's so bizarre. I had a different result. But yeah, there we go.
What was your one?
I had Venkman Burn in Hell.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah. It's all good. Well, let's
do... whatever one came up on the screen, I guess, is the one that we.
Yeah, that's the one we'll go with, man. The computer gods have spoken.
If it doesn't come up, we will play a game of Venkman Burn in Hell a little bit later. We'll play one.
No worries.
Round.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Because
let's do it.
I like consistency, and I'm going to follow the rules of the last round on talking about your generation, which is you get a point if you get it right, you get 2 points if you get it wrong. So that's what we're going to do for that one. But every round has its own points of allocations. So Forbidden is going to be our first game, and we're not going to try with any buzzers tonight, so we're going to see how it works. Okay. Pretty much it's just another matching game, but let's see what's in line for the game of Forbidden, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. So, Forbidden, here we are on eBaby, and what we have is a whole bunch of different items. We have up here a signed picture of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. We've got a signed photo of Boris Karloff. We've got a diary of JFK, and we've got a signed photo of Bela Lugosi. And we've got the guy who played Frankenstein.
Colin Clive. Colin Clive.
Yes, Colin Clive, that's it. Sorry, that was one name that eluded me. And we've got a whole bunch of prizes up here over the side, which the people at the side of eBaby have been unable to allocate. Just their designer was out that day, and so, you know, it's our job to take these prizes and put them onto whichever one you think goes with it. So, these are all items, I should say, these are all items that are actually, have been bidded on, have been sold. So the sold items are the ones that they've sold for, and the ones that say they're currently bidding are up until about this week, are up for bidding. So if you think you have money there, you can go on there and get those prizes as well. So, yes. So, the diary of JFK, the signed photo of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the signed photo of Boris Karloff, the signed photo of Bela Lugosi, signed photo of what was his name? You said it just before.
Colin Clive.
Okay, Colin Clive. There we are. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is saying a lot about me, but I would say the JFK thing would be a bigger hit than the others. But purely because of the whole kind of conspiracy kind of thing, you know, it's elevated that above the others. So I would say that would be the one that would have sold the most. Okie
day. So,
what do you reckon there, Roger? What do you think? Do you differ to me on that opinion, or?
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with you there. I think his cachet is still hot.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
and go on. Sorry.
The one that's still open for bidding, that's now $32,000. And these are, I'm pretty sure this is all American currency as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, and Arthur Conan Doyle is top right, is that right?
Yes, this is Arthur Conan Doyle, just here.
Okay. This is a tough one because I would, like Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff have met countless times on screen.
Yeah. Feel free to jump in there, Roger, because Saul's going to try and grab all these points.
So whichever one is
we'll go over the prices over the side there. We've got sold price of $2,391, sold price of $5,017, sold price of $10,540, or now at $1,877, and it's got 7 bids on it, and its next bid is at $2,000. So that one's together, which you've already said, the highest one, which is $32,211 at, I think it's 10 bids. Yep. And the next bid at $35,433 is the JFK. So, yeah, you're going to say that one. Okie day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to say Arthur Conan Doyle goes for 10 grand.
For the 10 grand? Nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to put that one over onto Arthur Doyle. Beautiful. So we've got 2,000, 5,000, and 2,000, I guess. Just under 2,000.
Yeah, like, do you know what's tricky though? Because like I know you struggle with remembering Colin Clive. But because that could be actually a more rare thing than the other two. Because I'd imagine the other two, because of their popularity, and I may be second guessing myself out of these points. But I'm wondering whether Colin is the one that's was sold at $5. Was it the $5 grand one? Okay. I'm gonna go with that, and then we'll just because the other two are always. I don't know. I struggle with placing the other two because they're always. Actually, you know, I'm going to change my mind. I'm gonna say Colin. Move the that 5,000. Put that under Boris Karloff.
Okay, Boris Karloff for
5,000. And then give Bella the one that's currently bidding.
So Bella's currently bidding. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that one's gonna rise up, and it's gonna go a bit higher, and then put Colin on the $2 grand one. Yeah.
Would you concur, Roger, or would you change any of them around?
I think the logic is very reasonable.
Yes.
not having spare thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
To
That's
the
it
thing,
too.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's quite astonishing. So fantastic. The way that we're going to find this out is I'm literally just going to expand the whole page because
Cool.
it'll also advertise the site that you can see them on. So not too sure which one was the bottom, but let's start with the one that I can't remember. The one that you said was sold price
Colin
of
Klein,
$2,391. So if I reset the transform on that one, whoop, we're going to move that over there. Awesome. And we're going to see it says...
So I was right.
Yes, 2,391.
Sweet.
Brilliantly done. And whilst that's open up on the side here, we've also got the other three, which was Boris Karloff's was 517. Nicely
Come
done.
on.
Beautiful.
Bring it
And
home
the
to
next one
bacon.
over. Bella Lugosi. Oh, sold price of 10,500.
So those two were the other way around, were they?
Yes.
Ah.
Go.
So, if we put that just down there, so yes, which you said for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and if we reset the transform on that one, we'll see that that one is the one that's currently, yes, so you just got those two swapped around,
Sure.
unfortunately, because then if we also open this one up, we'll be able to see that this is John F. Kennedy's diary from the summer of 1945, so yes, and that went for... Or is now currently still bidding at $32,211 and has 10 bids. And yeah, it's lot 8,010. So
Yeah.
jump on that if you want to grab that one. So yes, very, very well done. Now we get to see at what points we get to allocate. That's right.
Can I just say that I love Arthur Conan Doyle's picture that he's like, you can have him in profile.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like one of those cutouts.
No. Just this is enough.
Yeah, my good side. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, day. So, in that round, let's see. What was it? Who got what? So, the diary, that was Saul, wasn't it? So you got a point for that.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was also Saul, you got a point for, was it Boris Karloff?
Boris Karloff, yeah. I think Colin
Clive.
as well. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
nice. Unfortunately, I don't think any points were awarded to Roger.
It's all right. I'm enjoying the process.
Good stuff, yes. It's that was a game that I sort of most of the money games I go, okay, I'll throw it together and see if it works. And yeah, the points come afterwards of how I allocate them. So that's good, but good. Fantastic. It was one game down.
Yeah, good fun. I like that.
Yes, perfect. Well, good. Great stuff. So at this current point, we have Sol Muerte with 3 points and Roger Scott with 0 points. Now, I could be a stickler because we did play a game of Venkman Burn in Hell on the Full Moon sessions. And technically, you got that wrong. So
I did get that one wrong, yeah.
we're going to be taking away 2 points.
No!
So I know Sol Muerte has 1 point, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. It's still ahead there. So why don't we go into it?
You're a
and
cruel
spin
man, and that's why I
the
love you.
Yes, perfect. Let's spin the wheel again then. Let's see, maybe we'll get even more games to be played tonight on our Wheel of Fortunes. So the games that we have up there as well, I'm really glad that didn't... Just below the interact button is the remove button, and I'm glad that it gives you the option to clarify. So we have Venkman Burn in Hell, Chrono Loco, Britney Toxic Avenger, and Ins and Outs. So here we go. So that was Saul's spin. So let's go for Roger's spin. Hi-yay! Gentlemen, girls and boys, dogs and cats, it's that exciting time because
You
it
love this.
seems like we're going into another Chrono Loco! Fantastic. So, I love that stinger. Okay, so the game of Chrono Loco, ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 different movies that are up there. Movie posters. These are original release movie posters. And they're out of order at the moment. They are completely Chrono Loco. And we need you to put them into the chronological order in which they were released. So, let's just go through them each one by one. If you guys want to call them out from left to right,
Yeah.
what's the first
So-
one there?
Days of Thunder. So
Nice.
was this the one where Cruise and Kidman met on set? Is this the one where Sparks flew and
might-
and
Yeah.
That's the one. She's the
Australian history
doctor,
was-
and he played race cars up her leg.
Yeah.
We've all done that though, haven't we?
We've
Yeah.
all been there, I think, yes. Yeah. I think
yeah.
you were
So
right.
yeah,
It's either that or BMX Bandits.
Arachnophobia is the next one there.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Daniels.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but I loved it as a kid.
It's a great film. I loved watching it as an adult, I think more so than watching it as a kid.
That middle one is Dick Tracy, which fun fact is the only film I've ever fallen asleep to in the cinema.
It's that's pretty much my recall of it. I don't think I got to the end of it. I was like,
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah.
I can't remember any of it, so I
I'll
think I
jump
blocked
maybe.
it out based on that.
total
If
recall.
only I could block out Madonna's Hanky Panky song, I'd probably be as less scarred as I am today. But,
Oh, wait, yeah, I just remembered the gangsters. Yeah, talk about body horror.
yeah.
Like, yeah, there were. Whoa. Sorry, just remembered
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then we got Total Recall.
Total recall.
Yeah.
Get your ass to Mars.
Miles.
And I'm trying to read. Is that Back to the Future 2 or 3 on the end there, mate?
Sorry, I'm just playing around with sizes. I'll take it back to the screen. There we go. So,
Oh, it's 3. Okay,
yes, Back to the
right.
Future 3.
Which is arguably the weaker of the 3 Back to the Future films.
Ooh, such venom. Ooh, I don't know. I'm
My
one who
wife
likes
loves that
Ghostbusters too,
one.
so-
She really likes it. But then, like I don't know. I'm not a massive Western fan.
No,
So I think
neither am
that's
I.
The problem,
Neither- yeah.
right? So, and I say that, and I do love Get to the Chopper. I do love some Western films. I love Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh god, yeah.
Mm.
The opening scene alone is just mwah. But yeah, so there are exceptions. But yeah, I as a rule of thumb, I tend to struggle a little bit with westerns. Yeah, all the John Ford stuff, the sweeping landscapes of and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, well,
I think you have to be American to really appreciate the history.
no, I don't know. I think it's something that at least crosses over to a lot of Australian films. Like we have a lot of similar like vast plains, and even was it Mary Steenburgen, which is just suggested by Steve Maresca. The love story in there is so beautiful because it's somewhat unique and out of place in what we're used to. In that, it's the most memorable love story, I guess you could say. I guess no. There's the first love story, which of course is his parents. So that's probably going to be the most pinnacle.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think I have the nostalgia because it closes the story, and they haven't touched it since, except for the computer game, which is also great. It's separate, and it's like 5 episodes.
Well, they had the animation series for a while, which was
I
following
never saw that.
Jules and Vern on the kids, Doc's kids on the train as they went through time.
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but I do remember that kind of vaguely being around. So they as far as the McFlys are concerned, I think that was the story arc completes within the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just when you mentioned Jules and Vern, then I just every time it's so true. You can't help but not see that little kid just pointing. It's If you don't know what we're talking about, no, you don't know. Of course, you know the reference in Back to the Future 3, right at the end, when Doc Brown is making that pinnacle speech and he says, "Your future isn't written yet," and it's a gorgeous speech that he makes. Behind him, the boy who's playing Jules or Vern is beckoning to his mother or a stagehand because he must need to go to the toilet, and he just like beckons him and points to his groin. But yeah, once you see that, you can't not see that beautiful ending to that film and
I
series.
never noticed. That's so good.
Yeah.
We're just rewatching all of those because our little boy is super keen and looking for classic films that are that we can also watch that there's plenty of great animated films out there, but live action for kids that is
Absolutely. Well,
just
Bugsy
great film.
Malone. Like, I don't know if anybody out there in the chat knows Bugsy Malone, but that is one that I think is a great crossover too. It's
We could have been anything that we wanted to be. So
Bad
don't it
guy.
make your heart glad?
yeah. It's also got a young Jodie Foster in, I think, her second screen role. But
And Chachi.
and Chachi, is it?
Yeah, Scott
Oh, of
Baio's in it,
course,
isn't
yes, Scott Baio, yeah. But
Wow.
you're so right, because even Monster Squad, I think I brought that up just before.
Yeah,
That's
Monster
again
Squad.
one of those things that is that crossover. Ghostbusters as well. Maybe not they swear in it or whatever. It was a different time. But you're so right. Yeah, I think it's important. And Back to the Future is something that brings in those two elements. It's sci-fi. It's time travel and otherworldly sort of expectations, but also stories about love and consequence. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Back to the Future was I'm a massive into that because yeah, that was kind of that, and Ghostbusters were like my thing. I had older brother and older cousins who basically they just owned the Star Wars franchise. That was their baby. Whenever we went out and played, it was Star Wars. Whereas for me, Ghostbusters and Back to the Future kind of were my little gems. So I have a lot of nostalgic love for both those franchises.
Yeah. I'd want to throw in Police Academy as well. Just because, yeah, that was one.
Is that because you've got somebody just underneath you there that's
No, it's the ankle monitor. That's what.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but no. Like that Ghostbusters, there were great bonding elements even in the schoolyard. I remember when I changed schools a couple of times, having to make friends. Ghostbusters was great because every one of us was a Ghostbuster. It didn't matter who you were all just against the things in the trees, and it was an easy thing. You just get a skipping rope and tie it to your backpack. Can't do Hellraiser in school.
No. Although I did stick a load of pins in my friend's head and got into trouble for that. So.
Nice, that voodoo charm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So with our
sorry, we should be playing this game, shouldn't
That's
we?
right.
Woo! Yeah.
Yay.
So Chrono Loco.
It's a Chrono Loco. Don't do it. You'll beckon the gods again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just apologize to all of Mexico on your behalf.
Yeah.
They get the joke. The cut of the jib. The love. So, we've got those 5 films up there. What's the order?
This is killing me a little bit because I feel like they were all really, really close when they were released. So it's bugging me a little bit.
I've got an order in my mind.
Okay,
I
cool.
have no idea. It's the same for me. They're all kind of. Mine was going to be Total Recall, Arachnophobia, Tom Cruise. I think the Dick Tracy. Oh no, sorry. Dick Tracy. At the on the other side of Back to the Future. That was what was happening in my mind, but the more I think about it, the less I'm sure.
Ooh. Do you concur, Saul?
I want to say. I can't remember when Dick Tracy was released. It was such a snooze fest. That one's the one that's bugging me. I want to say that
there is a linking thing. They're all released in the same year.
Oh, there you go. All right, that's what's bugging me. There we go. I was going to say I thought they were really close together.
They are. Extremely so.
So I'm trying to think.
They are within.
I remember seeing Arachnophobia, and I want to say.
You're lucky for me to be able to get something in the same decade, let alone in the same year.
I know. No, just because the last time we played this, within like 5 seconds, Saul was just like, yeah, I can do this in like a blink. And so I was just like, darn. So yeah, these are, I think, within the month. They're all within the same month of release.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, as in, like, it's maybe like one's just outside of the month, but yeah, it's all within that very close proximity.
All right, I'm gonna, just because I want to go with something different, just so, because like that looks pretty close. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put Back to the Future at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
Which
move them all
one do
down.
I move one? Let's put them all down one for a minute. Dick Tracy's the only one that's bugging me. I want to say that Total Recall and Arachnophobia both came out very close, really, really close to one another. So just because I want to be different, no, let's put Arachnophobia at the end, and then leave everything else where it is.
So Arachnophobia at this end?
Yeah, and then move Days into the middle, Dick next to it. There you go. That's going to be... So you've got to remember what order Roger put them in, because I totally jumbled it up.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, I know. I do remember you had Total Recall first, and I think it was... You put Days of Thunder. Then I think it was Arachnophobia. Then I think you put...
No. He had Arachnophobia before Days of Thunder. Yeah. So Roger went Total Recall, Arachnophobia...
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Then, Back to the Future and Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
so
awesome. And you're saying...
Have you written that down?
You're saying Back to the Future, Total Recall, Days of Thunder, Dick Tracy, and Arachnophobia.
Yeah. The only one I'm not so sure about is Dick Tracy. I really don't know. But I've got a feeling that Arachnophobia was... Because I'm pretty sure that was summertime in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be talking about that like July or August time, right?
Awesome.
So I feel like that's why I feel like that one's there, because I feel like the others came before that from memory.
Yeah.
So the others are purely, and I want to say Back to the Future 3 would have been around my Easter holidays if I'm not right. So I'm reckoning that's April time. So I'm going to chuck that at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then the others, the others are a guess.
Good, awesome, no, sweet. It's good because it's given me the ability to quickly just put in the points before we do it, which is always a fun thing. So we'll start, I'll put them in order now. I've allocated your points, so we'll find out in just a second. But yes, anyone who's been playing at home, I'm sure that you'll probably either be able to Google this. But we started off, our first one was Total Recall.
Ah.
Yes, the 1st of the 6th, 1990, that was. And then,
Right.
no, that one. Then the next one was Dick Tracy, which was the 21st of the 6th, 1990. And then we have Days of Thunder, which was the 27th of the 6th, 1990. Then we have Back to the Future, which was the 28th of the 6th, 1990. And then we have Arachnophobia, which was the 18th of the 7th, 1990. So that was the only one that was outside of the month. So
Right, I put them in the order that I watched them in now that I think about it.
that's pretty, yes. No, well, that works as well.
So I'm kind of right.
No,
I
that's...
guess.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of right, yeah. Well, it's good because we've allocated the points there, and I can't remember if it was... I think, Roger, you got 3 on that one, and Sol, you got 2 on that one because you got
cool.
the one...
Arachnophobia and Days of Thunder, I think, were the
you
only
both got
ones that
Days
were
of
there.
Thunder, and you got Arachnophobia, and
Yeah.
Roger, you got Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. That's right.
And I'm still just amazed that Tom the strength and longevity of Tom Cruise's career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and his ankles.
Yeah. That running style is not easy on the old ankles, is
that's
it?
There's, I think, there's some videos of him, like the full video of him going up on the side of the plane that you can watch, and it's just like, because he had to wear like special contact lenses and stuff for it, and it's just like, whoa, yeah, the amount of stuff that he puts himself through is admirable. Like, you know, as in, regardless of who he is as a person or in his home life, I mean, as an artist, I think everyone's got to admire at least that. So if we're just quickly checking out in the chat up there before we go back to it, we've got... was it? Oh, a Thomas F. Wilson best performance reference by Steve Maresca, of course, talking about the Back to the Future series, I'm sure. Phil Robinson chucking in an Olay there. We've got Rhiannon and Elizabeth Irons. They were all released in 1990. She knew right off the bat. Phil Robinson, Most June, Joys of Thunder, yes. We should have put in an Arnie film in there. I should have thought about that. He's got a sweetheart. Got to interview him for a mummy. Who is that? Who's that you're talking about, Rhiannon?
Tom.
I'm
Mr.
wondering.
Cruise. I reckon
Tom
it's
Cruise.
Mr. Cruise.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I blocked out that mummy. And yeah, whenever I teach at Screenwise, I always try and play the trailer that was released with just the sound effects.
He did Edge of Tomorrow and
Yes.
War of the
Or
Worlds.
Live Die Repeat, which is so good. Yeah.
and yeah, sorry, it was that was its title, wasn't it? Edge of Tomorrow,
Edge of
which
Tomorrow,
made no
yeah.
sense. And then it's like they used the tagline "Live Die Repeat," and that should have been in my opinion, should have been the title of the movie. "Live Die Repeat" would have done a lot better business.
Totally. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And then just Rhiannon Elizabeth Owens. Oh, of course, clarifying with Tom Cruise. Perfect there. Great. Yeah, sweet. And I know it did destroy the Dark Universe in one fell swoop, but then we've got The Invisible Man, which I think brought it straight back. I don't know, that got me excited because I think that's got me hoping where a lot of things are going to go to in that sort of horror sense at least. But yes, and his performance as Lestat, of course, in Interview with a Vampire, of course, referring to Tom Cruise, and Brad Pitt's performance in that as well too. But yes, no, absolute chef's kiss, all round, beautiful, great. Well, yeah. If there's anything else you guys want to add on, just before, of course, we finish up with that game of Chronologo. Yes, and go into our quiz arena tournament. Well, yeah, just have a gas bag around there whilst I line up the quiz.
Oh, the quiz, or we?
Well, it's 10 to 9. Do you want to go quiz, or do you want to spin the wheel again?
No, I was just wondering if we were doing any better beat Sauls, or we.
Oh, of course. I'm jumping the gun. I'm sorry, because of the spin wheel, and I didn't put better beat Saul on there. That's what's made me go straight on to the next one. Good. So, well, you have the questions that were released on.
I do. So this is a chance for Roger if he wants to get a few points on the tally.
Of course,
so
yes.
we do a round each time we come on this called Better Beat Saul, where I kind of pose a few questions out there, and the idea is to try and beat me and in my own game.
Yes. We even have a stinger for it. So if you'd like to go to the stinger.
Stop! He's already dead.
Oh, a bit too excited. Yeah, something I do in my day job. So Better Beat Saul. Let's. So I posed a few questions out there during the week, and this was in honor of Freddy Krueger Day, which was Tuesday last week, and so it was all Freddy Krueger kind of themed stuff. So we had. How are we doing this, Mr. Lovegrove? Are you posing the video questions, or am I just going to run through them?
Would you like me to play the question so that the viewers can see it?
Yeah, they may as well pop it up there and see.
Awesome.
Hi, surgeons and fellow Quiz Arena fans out there. I am sorry I can't be there with you tonight, but I do want to celebrate a little bit because we had the fabulous National Freddy Krueger Day this week, and I thought, what better way to do a themed Better Beat Saul than to do a Freddy Krueger themed quiz? Are you ready? So the first question that I'm going to give to you is, what profession was Freddy Krueger's mum? What profession did Freddy Krueger's mum have? Bonus points if you can give me her name, and extra bonus points if you can tell me how Freddy Krueger was conceived.
There you go. So I feel like this was an easy one to start off with. So it'll be interesting to see who knows the actual answers out there. Please hit up right now if you think you know it on our screens down there. Roger, do you have any idea of the answers to any of those two?
Seriously, no, I do not.
No worries.
Hi, surgeons. Fellow Quiz Arena fan.
Sorry.
What's going on?
There we go.
All right, so Steve Mareshko's got it. So feel free to lift off our viewers on here, Roger, if you want to kind of grab those and steal some points, because they're all there to help us along the way. I feel like the audio's gone a bit. Are we all there still?
Yeah. No, we
Okay,
had
cool.
a pause. I think everyone was reading the
sweet.
lines.
Having a little chat.
Yeah.
I had I've got my other monitor up here, so I'm watching the YouTube feed over here, so I can kind of see what people are saying.
Oh, I was wondering if I was missing a chat somewhere. I should perhaps have that.
Annan, so have you got the YouTube link there, Roger, or no?
No, I don't. That's
Okay.
I was wondering if
Well, I'll tell you what she's saying, what they're saying out there. A lot of people are saying the same kind of stuff. You can see it hopefully on our shared screen. And oh no, we don't have that either. Okay. So I'm just looking at the last one here. So Rhiannon has kind of come up, said she was a nun. Actually, you've been very specific. She was a nun at Western Hills. Her name was Amanda Kruger. Her nun name was Sister Mary Helena. And Freddie was conceived after she was locked in a tower and was raped by the inmates. Hundreds of times, Phil Robinson says. So would you like to throw that in as your answer?
Sure, that sounds as feasible as anything I could have come with. As feasible as any lie I could have come up with.
Nice. May as well take it, man. That's what the points
I
are
think
for.
also saying, as long as you said it and he didn't say it.
Yeah. So Phil touched on it as well. Like to add on there, yes, Bastards and Reeves just adding it. Bastard's son of 100 maniacs. So he was actually raped by 100 psychopaths. Oh no, he wasn't. Amanda was. Okay, so question 2 then for the mix.
Question 2 for Better Beat Saul is based on if you can tell me Freddy Krueger's serial killer name. What was he known before he got lynched and burnt alive? What was Freddy Krueger's serial killer name?
I'm a bad horror fan.
No, that's cool. Well, there's somebody's already pops up an answer there. Rhiannon has, Phil has. The reason why I really like this is because I live in the Blue Mountains, and in particular, I live in a town called Springwood, and he is known as, if you can think, I know you haven't got the answer there, but they're saying the Springwood slasher.
Yeah,
That's it.
So, and even Steve Maresca is coming up with that one as well. So would you like to grab an extra point there?
Yep, I'll go for that. That sounds feasible to me.
You're like,
You used to spend a lot of time in the Blue Mountains, actually. It's a good spot.
Oh, I love it up here. It's so nice.
Yeah.
So nice. And in a way has been a little bit of a savior during all the lockdown stuff, because I've been quite privileged that even with the 5K radius, I can actually kind of walk down the end of my road and into some bush and have a decent exercise. So I've been very fortunate, unlike some.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Okay, so the third question out there is, what
Question
is the
3
name?
for Better Beat Saul. What was the name of Kincaid's dog? That's what was the name of Kincaid's dog.
Yeah, funny. I got to forget that Saul's going to keep interrupting me. So what was the name of Kincaid's dog? Some people are saying the answer there. If you don't know this and you can't see the screen, Roger, I can give you a clue as to you could pretty much name one of the famous slasher icons of the 1980s, and you may actually get it right if you pick one.
Jason.
It is Jason.
Nicely done.
Cool. Okay, so number 4.
Question number 4 for Better Beat Saul. What was the demise of Freddy in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare? That again, what was the demise of Freddy in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare?
Yeah, there we go. So Freddy's Dead. So that was the 6th installment of the franchise.
I love this film.
That's not the one where they put him in the Oh, there you go. Blowing up. No, I wasn't. No.
Yeah. Go with that one. Phil kind of said explosives. Rihanna's gone a bit closer.
I remember the bed of the
blown
nails.
up with a pipe bomb from his daughter.
Falling out of the sky onto the bed of nails. And it being the main character who you think is going to be the one that's going to go throughout the film, and then halfway through they just get axed, and you're like, wait a minute, who are we on now? What?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So good.
A nice one. So there's Rhiannon's probably one that's gone the closest. Other people have been they're not wrong in their answers. They are right. But Rhiannon's gone more specific. So if you want to steal that.
Totally. Thanks, Rhiannon. That's a great answer.
So she's saying blown up with a pipe bomb from his daughter. Extra point there, Rhiannon, just out of curiosity. What happens just before that? What does the daughter do? I'm just curious to see if you know.
I know,
I'm
but
sure
I
you
the
do.
answers.
But yeah, let me know what happens just before he gets blown up. Because there's a particular thing she uses as an implement.
Kisses him.
While I wait for that,
Little kisses.
no, I wasn't thinking of the kisses. There's something a bit more.
Mwah. Mwah.
Just little pecks. No tongue.
She does say that though. You are right. That does happen. But she uses something first.
Does that mean she gets the point?
Yeah, there we go. That's it down there. She's just popped it in now.
Oh,
see it
nice.
off on the screen a sec.
Mitch's own glove.
Yeah, she stabs him with his glove.
Et tu brute.
Yeah. Okay, last question for the Better Beats All Freddy Krueger edition.
Our last question in the Better Beats All round is: how many murders did Freddy commit? How many murders did he commit?
Ooh.
So I've got to be specific here because I'm talking about the range between like within. I'm not talking about the remake, and I'm not talking about Wes Craven's New Nightmare in there too, because that is meant to be a different.
So that's, was it 6
form.
films? 7 films?
Yeah, so it's the 6 films.
6.
Because of the way New Nightmare is, it's a slightly different creation.
Okay.
So
This is a numerical one, so I don't remember what the answer is. So I'm just going to go like with a maths type thing, roughly
That's
on 5 or 6 per film.
pretty damn good guesses coming in. It'd be interesting to see. Let's see. Have they all said it yet? I haven't heard Ree chime in. Is K9 with us today or no?
Yeah, K9's there. K9 wrote exploded.
Exploded.
He exploded.
Yeah, so I just want to see if there's anyone else. I will say that Steve's gone closest.
Okay. Well, I was going to go with Phil Robinson. Just like, that's just me being honest.
No,
so.
K9. Yeah.
So I was going to have 42.
So
47, he's changed. Oh, you're changing on me, K9.
So Steve's still closest.
Okay.
Was that 50?
Rhianna's gone 48. I think they're the guesses. So I'm saying Steve's closest. What did you say, Roger?
I saw a 54 and a 42, so 48.
54. I'll go 42.
48. What are you saying there, Richard? What are you going to say?
I'll go with K9. He says 47.
Okay. All right. The actual answer is 60.
Ah, nice.
So there are 20 children that he kills before he was.
Into this tweet.
Yeah, I've still got that one open, and I just said, hold on, tech issues.
Sweet, thanks. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's at least it's good it didn't happen during the tournament. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all right. That's okay. These are the joys of Zoom, right?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm feeling like it might even be if we could afford our own server,
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here is this. I'll go into the previous one and just drop that link. I'll drop it into the Zoom as well.
Mm-hmm.
People should be able to now, just if they've followed on YouTube, be able to follow it too. But fun times.
Fun time, Frankie. I heard myself singing.
Yeah.
That's always a worry.
Castle Rig. Okay, here we go. So that one's live. Scroll down, please. Okay, YouTube.
So Steve's there. That's good. Thanks for sticking around, Steve.
Perfect. It's there. I can't even. That's the screen. How good is this screen?
And
okay,
just wondering if other people who are playing along, just let us know. Cool, K9's there. Just let us know, Phil and Rhiannon, let us know if you're still around. Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much, Ree. And Phil, just let us know if you're still there too, buddy, because we want to make sure that...
Yeah, we'll make sure everyone's here just before we go on. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently it's happened again. There hasn't been any precursor to that. And we don't seem to be chucking up too much, like, internet speed. It's still, it's under 3,000 kilobytes per second. So, from my research, that's nowhere near what should be causing a problem.
I'm just going to fill the dead air a little bit and just...
Please, yeah.
Like, I just heard today about the passing away of Melvin Van Peebles. I don't know if anyone else heard that too. Massive influence in the blaxploitation scene. People might know his son a bit more, Mario Van Peebles. But yeah, Melvin Van Peebles was massive. He did a film called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, which was like really influential. So he's been like a big pioneer in Black American film. Yeah, I just kind of want to say a massive nod and RIP to him as he journeys on into whatever lies ahead for us. Yeah, but like massive influence, that guy. And I'm saying that now because we're actually seeing a really important movement in Black American films. And, you know, he was one of the early pioneers of that movement. So it's, massive loss.
Totally set the table.
Yeah. And sorry to speak like on a on a bit more of an ill kind of topic, but I think when players like that have done something so incredible to the genre and movie scene, I think it's worth mentioning them as they shuffle off this mortal coil. And yeah, massive loss. I think massive. I call the I don't know if you've caught it, but there's a horror noir documentary that's on Shudder, which has a look at the history of Black American films, and it's really worth watching. It's got some really strong personalities that are talking through the years, as it's unfolded.
Do you remember what it's called?
It's called Horror Noir, as in, but the noir is Noire. But I really recommend it. It's very good. I just did. I'm doing a thing at the moment. I'm doing like 100 days of. What was it? 100 horror films in 92 days, as a bit of a film challenge, and it starts off with the 1st of August, finishes on the 31st of October. So I've been crunching my way through that meticulously. I'm about 60 odd films in at the moment, and I spent last week watching a load of the documentaries that were on Shudder, which are really good. I definitely recommend checking out their documentaries. There was Lost Souls, which is the documentary on the island of Dr. Moreau, which is really insightful. And there's also, they're really lengthy, but well worth watching. You can kind of almost dip into them a little bit. Both of them are like 4.5 hours long. And it's called In Search of Darkness, and it's basically the history of or the influential horror films in the 80s in particular. And again, similar kind of style format where they have people talking about the films itself. And the reason why I said you could probably chunkify it, so if you find yourself with not a lot of time, it's one that you can kind of break up, because they basically go like, we're going to talk about 1980 now.
Yeah.
And then they'll go to the next segment, so you can kind of dip into it a bit slowly. And there's some good ones, like there's the big ones in there, but there's some kind of nice forgotten gems in there too, which was really cool. Well worth checking out. Yeah. Big plug for Shudder there. Yeah. So are we back there?
Yeah,
all,
I think
Richard?
we've got the comments all came through in one quick burst. So hopefully, we're all good to go on a quick.
All right. Yeah. So do you still want me to quickly do some 5 questions?
If you've got them there, we'll
they're just here. Yeah. So I'm quite excited. I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan. He's one of like the for me, he's probably the most interesting storyteller, both on film and TV at the moment. And he's got his latest TV series coming out. I think it's going to be on Netflix over here as of tomorrow. I don't know what time it will release, but it's called Midnight Mass. So I thought my theme for the 5 questions this week would be Mike Flanagan based. And I was just saying before we got cut off as well that for me, I felt like Ree has thrown down the gauntlet to me during the week because she's won our quiz 2 weeks in a row. And I thought, and she kind of said to me as I was Richard and I were drip feeding the Freddy Krueger stuff, she was kind of saying, "Oh, these are all too easy." I'm like, okay, gauntlet's thrown down. So I don't know if I'm going too hard on these, but I thought, okay, let's see what we do.
Bring it.
So the first question is based on Absentia, which was Mike Flanagan's first film. And this is really quite specific. What is the character Kaylee reading while lying on the couch about 20 minutes into the film? What is she reading?
Oh, I have no idea, but I'm just going to say of Mice and Men.
Nice. I can give you a sort of a hint, but I just want to see if anyone has any kind of wild...
Surely somewhere out there in the comments knows, yeah. But Absentia... The rabbits.
The rabbits. Ah. Yeah, no, it's not that. But
I
yes,
thought that was going to be a Night of the Lepus reference.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. While I wait to see if other people are going to drop stuff off, I'll see if I can give you a little bit of hint. If you think about, Mike Flanagan is famous for more recently directing a movie based on a notorious horror film writer, horror book writer, I should say. So if you think about who out there is a famous horror writer, and that's a bit of a clue as to what potentially they could be reading.
I think I have an idea now, but I'm trying to think of which end of the spectrum I want to go with. But Mike Flanagan, yeah, so I'm pretty sure.
Do you know? Oh, she's good. She's...
yeah, already.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'll wait for it to come up. So Steve's saying It or Misery. Rhiannon has kind of said something up.
Oh, it has already come up, yes.
Yeah.
The Dark Tower.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. That is correct. So it was the Dark Tower by Marvel Comics based on the book series by, of course, Stephen King. Mike Flanagan would then go on to direct one of his books later on, Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining. Oh, you watched it last week. Get on you. I actually really like that. What did you think of it, Rhiannon? Like, considering it's like incredibly low budget, it's a bit quirky. I also read somewhere recently that it's loosely based on the Billy Goat's Gruff folktale.
Oh, cool.
Which makes me want to rewatch it now, based on that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Let me know your thoughts out there, Ree, because I know you're kind of into this stuff. Okay, so damn, you got it. Okay, so next question is, how many minutes of actual dialogue is there in the film Hush? So it's a numerical one here again. So
minutes.
What do we think in minutes, yeah? How many minutes of actual dialogue is there?
So, well, what's the film Hush about? Because I'm having trouble placing it.
Okay, so basically it's loosely... what happens if I just close it? Cool. I'm just going to close that because I'm only going to need it more. Sorry, I've got too many windows open as I'm juggling around. Basically, it's a home invasion film, right? But the clever kind of thing in it is the central character played by Kate Siegel, who is Mike Flanagan's wife, is both deaf and mute in the film. So maybe that will give you a bit of a clue. So Steve's saying 5.
I was going around 10.
10?
I'll go for 2.
Cano's saying 1. Roger's saying 2. Any takers there? Who hasn't said one yet? Phil and Ree, let us know if you've got any comments there as well before I give the answer away. I'll see if there's any other stats I can read off that while I'm waiting for the thing. Yes, so I can't without actually telling you the answer. Okay, so let's see. Have they mentioned anything yet? Oh, God, you know what?
Okay, I said 1.
I'm about to lose my mind with you, Ree. I'll wait for the answer, her answer to kind of creep up on the screen.
I think it has just less than 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so the answer is just less than 15 minutes of dialogue. So that means that there is more than 70 minutes that occur in the film where there is no dialogue spoken at all.
Wow.
It's an amazing film. It's really, really good. I thoroughly recommend it. It's one of those. And Reed, maybe you'll remind me too, because I've forgotten the dude's name that plays the antagonist in it. But he was in Newsroom as the kind of the young kind of hotshot guy. I don't know if you've seen that. You know, the Jeff Daniels, Aaron, what's his name, Sorkin TV series that was on. Anyway, just lost my mind. Okay, so Ree, I haven't stumped you yet. Damn. Okay. Okay. This one might be an easy one, or it might not be. Who owns the trademark of the name Ouija?
I know.
Owns
this.
the trademark.
Yeah, I know this.
Got it, Roger? Do you know it?
Yeah. Is it like one of those big board game companies? Like
It is a big board game company. Yeah.
It is a big board game company.
What's the one they used to?
I love the picture up there. Thanks, Richard.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna. Not Mattel, like the something or other
It's
brothers.
close. Yeah, it's not Mattel. Yeah.
What I'm picturing.
So
is it like Milton Bradley?
Okay, so I'm going to just give you some of the answers that are cropping up
Hasbro.
here. So Rhiannon saying Hasbro, Phil saying Hasbro, Canine saying Parker Brothers.
Parker Brothers. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I can let you know that one of those guys is actually correct. So it's a bit of a... Which one are you going to go for?
I'll go Parker Brothers.
Okay.
I'm going Hasbro.
And the answer is Hasbro.
Oh,
Hasbro is the answer to that one. Sorry, my other screen just died on me just there. Well done, Richard. Well done, Ree. Well done. Oh, so who was the other person? Sorry, to Phil. Yeah, well done, guys. So, yeah, the reason I mentioned that obviously is one of his films was Ouija, Origin of Evil, and one of the rare things where a sequel, or in this, it's a prequel technically, but the follow-up film to the original is actually better than the original. Yeah.
Well, even just on that, recently I saw Shock Treatment, and that was the sequel chronologically to Rocky Horror Picture Show. But Richard O'Brien said whilst he was releasing it that it wasn't a sequel, it wasn't an equal, a prequel, it was an equal. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I'm
There you
trying to
go.
now remember what he said with Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you don't go and see it, I will come around to your
Gallagher
houses, drag you out by the scruff of the neck. I will belt you around the mouth and mouth you around the neck belt. If you know what I'm saying. Yes.
Nice. Sorry, I immediately got distracted there because, yeah, Rhiannon, thank you. I think you're right. I think it's John Gallagher Jr. And yes, he was in the Belko Experiment, which was another great little flick. I don't know if anyone's caught that, but it's a bit like Battle Royale, but it's all set in an office building.
yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
That's been on my to see list for basically since I heard about it, and I have not gotten around to seeing that yet.
I really enjoyed it. It's good fun. It's got the dude from Ghost in it as well. You know, the
Patrick
guy-
Swayze.
No. He's dead.
We can laugh.
That would be hard. That would be hard hitting cinema.
Yeah,
Of course, that's
Yeah.
why it's called Ghost.
Yeah, that's it.
But
I'm sorry, that was really...
no, that's why I added it. That's why it's called Ghost. But no,
All right.
who from Ghost?
Okay, it's the guy that, you know, the main guy that's was his best friend who kind of basically, you know, he's basically after the money and he...
Oh,
and
bad guy.
eventually-
Yeah.
bad guy. He plays the main boss in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but very cool film. I do recommend it. It's good.
Well, even
Good
on that
fun.
Belko Experiment, what was it? When they had, I think, 3 films recently that were around that same way. I saw the one with Samara Weaving in it, which is the same guy who was in Walking Dead. And that was really good. I think it was called Mayhem or something like that. But also set in an office block. That was quite good.
Yes, there was too. I'm sorry, I'm just replying to
So is the raid. If we're going to talk about office
Oh,
blocky kind of-
yeah, absolutely.
That's an awesome
Totally.
flick.
Just that blew me away. I was like,
That is intense, that film.
what
Really
is
intense.
it? What did a and then you know basically the Hollywood remake was Dread, which I'm not ashamed to admit I really enjoyed too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, even like before when we had, what was it, Total Recall in there, that's one that I love watching because it is so extreme and it's 80s, so it just doesn't hold back.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love that flick.
Bonus points if you know what the short story is called.
Ooh, for Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Oh!
I feel like I know this as soon as you tell me it. I'm gonna.
We can remember it for you wholesale.
Oh, that's it, yeah. That's why I was seeing the guy with the glasses looking up at the signs that says consume and stuff, yeah.
Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get on some. Let's get some more. Last two questions of the better beats all out there. I still haven't stumped Ree yet. Okay. What is unique about episode 6 of Haunting of Hill House, entitled "The Two Storms"? What's unique about it?
I watched this not so long ago. I should know this.
And by the way, it's probably one of my favorite series of recent years. It's amazingly put together.
I would say the same for me. It's a standout.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Now this is the Haunting of Hill House. Is this the first
Haunting
one
of Hill House?
Not Blind Manor.
Not the Blind Manor one. This is the first one. Episode 6, The Two Storms.
Cool.
What is unique about it?
Two storms. There's a storm in it, but it happens twice.
Yeah. That's true, but I'm sure that has happened in a couple of times.
It all takes place in a teacup.
Oh, if only. A storm in a teacup. I like what you're doing there, by the way.
Thank you. I'm glad someone is. Phil Robinson.
What's saying here? Also, I'm still waiting. Has anyone said anything yet? No.
Oh, Phil Robinson just dropping a spoiler from the Suicide Squad.
The most ghosts. I don't know about that. I'll kind of narrow it down a little bit. It's to do with the way it's shot. Yeah, K9's got it.
Oh, cool.
Wait for them to pop up.
Yep, there you go. It's just popped up.
I'm wondering if anyone could be more specific than that.
I just got flashbacks.
It wasn't single take. It wasn't single take, was it?
It wasn't. The whole thing wasn't one single take. No. But it was. I feel like I'm edging towards giving the answer here. I just want to see.
No.
Edge away. Keep edgy.
It is to do with long takes, but I just wonder if we could be a little bit more specific.
I don't think this is the right thing, but this isn't the Alfred Hitchcock thing where he literally would build a set around the camera because the camera was too big, and then as he would track through the scene in one long take, he would remove the set and build it back around it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not that, is it?
No, it's not that. But the set was built in a way that they had to kind of, because what's interesting about this, and this isn't giving the answer away just yet, but what's interesting about it, the way they had to do the set, is we're looking actually at two time zones happening in single shots. So where we would follow certain characters down corridors, and all of a sudden we then find them in the past.
Oh, cool.
And so effectively they're in like the funeral home in one scene, and in the other one they're in the past, which was interesting. That's not right. So I am gonna just kind of be a bit more specific. There are loads of one-shot takes. Yeah, K9. Yeah, that's exactly it. So it wasn't just one. It wasn't one long shot take. It was several. So in fact, the first shot was 15 minutes and 38 seconds long. And they were done in one straight take. Yeah, there was no edits, there was no cuts. In fact, the episode itself comprised of 5 of these long takes. The longest being the third one, which was the one in the middle, which was just over 17 minutes long. And the whole production had to be shut down for 6 weeks of detailed rehearsals to accomplish this and make sure that everything was on the money. And it's, to me, I remember specifically after watching that episode, my mind was just like, that was just amazing. The way they managed to put that together was brilliant filmmaking. Yeah, really, really cool. Okay, so the last question for you guys for Better Beats All before we get into the quiz, which hopefully will tie us up nicely for 9:30, is in Dr. Sleep, when Rose describes snake bites Snakebite Andy's powers as pushing. What Stephen King book is this making a reference to? I'll say the question again. In Dr. Sleep, when Rose describes Snakebite Andy's powers as pushing, what Stephen King book is this making a reference to?
Is that The Stand?
It's not The Stand. But I get why you're saying that, because there are a lot of books that he's written that have the whole kind of Shining connection, and The Stand is one of those ones.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that's based around gambling. Just because I know that, like, you know, the cooler, the pusher, the...
The cooler was Steve McQueen. We all know that.
Yeah.
The cooler king.
Absolutely.
Was in for effect.
But even, like, was
While I
it...
take some water.
Yeah, no, because you see, with a lot of those sort of things, even still happening now in auctions and stuff like that, someone who's basically hired to make the bidding go higher and then stop at a certain point, so that if you know it's someone's sure thing, that they'll bid more than they were going to.
We've had two answers pop up on the screen, and I can tell you that one of those is correct.
The fire starter.
So if you can have a guess of which one it is, someone else is championing the same answer.
Yeah, I'll take the fire starter, just because the Dark Tower was mentioned before. And I like fire dancing.
You do. Yeah, the answer is Firestarter. Well done, guys. So in Stephen King's book, Firestarter, Andy McGee, who is played by David Keith in the film Firestarter, which came out in 1984, and there's rumours that that's been made into as a remake as well. Anyway, so Andy McGee, the character Andy McGee, was given the psychic ability to push by a government program.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so that was an ability that was enforced upon him, and he was able to do that afterwards. So push, and that is the same ability that Snakebite Andy has.
Cool.
There you go. That was Better Beat Saul. And I want to say everyone beat me.
No, there's always next week.
There's always next week.
Yes.
Yeah. But thanks for taking part. It's always good fun throwing those under there. And if you haven't called Mike Flanagan's stuff, I do recommend it. He's very, very good.
Yes.
No.
And keep tuned for Midnight Mass, which is his next series that's coming out on Netflix tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's cool.
Totally.
Thanks, everyone. That was
Also, if you haven't heard our did we do a podcast? I think we did a podcast.
We did a podcast on Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
So you can check that out at surgeonsofhorror.com. To get all of your podcast fix there.
Interestingly, like I forget which year it was, but there was a year where he did 3. Okay, you're just playing with me now, Ree. You're humouring me. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, one of the years, I think it was like 2016. Mike Flanagan actually released 3 films in 1 year. And one of the reasons for that was because Before I Wake, which I really recommend too. I think that's a really cool film. Off the top of my head, you could probably show that one to your niece, Rhiannon. You were talking about that offline before we came on. I don't think there's anything massively too scary about it, but it's got some interesting fantasy elements at play in there. It's really good. It's got Thomas Jane in it as well.
That's it. I'm watching it.
yeah. But that was really cool. And the same year was Hush was in that year too, and there was a third one which escapes me off the top of my head, which I'll probably think of in the mix later on. But yeah, all 3 films are really, really cool.
He's prolific. Jesus.
Yeah, you got to check it out. Like his stuff is really like you can see where he's honing his craft. There's rumors well, not rumors. I'm hearing people talking about Midnight Mass being better than The Haunting of Hill House.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Coming from people that I would take their word for that they know what they're talking about, which is promising. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to see it. Cool. Sweet. And that's about 9:30, so I think we're at a nice round number to kind of
Nice, yeah, that's rounded us out quite well there. Awesome, so another fantastic game of Better Beat Saul. Very well. Let's see another sticker, just because, why not? Haha. So yes, there'll be another episode of that next week with 5 new questions. So yeah, we unfortunately didn't get to. Let's do a quick one.
Oh yeah, cool.
Here you
So I have a whole bunch of cards here. Yeah. They're all the ESP cards. So you've got a triangle, you've got an X, you've got a red dot, you've got wavy blue lines, you've got an equal sign, you've got a big round circle, and you've got a moon, a yellow moon. Sweet. So I'm going to shuffle them down here. I'm going to hold one up, and I want you to tell me which you think it is. What do you think it is? I'm going to try and communicate to you what it is right now. Like that. Awesome. So, for 1 point, if you get it right, you get 1 point. If you get it wrong, 2 points come off. So, Saul, why don't you go first? What do you think it is?
I'm going with the circle, man.
Going with a circle? Nice. Awesome. And what do you think it is, Roger?
I'll go for the cross.
You're going to go for the cross. Oh, unfortunately, it is a circle. So, nicely done. Saul, you got a point. And Roger, unfortunately, minus 2 points. But very well. That was the game of
That was
Venkman
awesome.
Burn in Hell. Awesome. Good. It's playing it up well. And for all of you out there playing at home, I'm sure you know if you got that right or wrong. So very, very well done there too for you guys as well. So yes, we didn't get to a chance of playing ins and outs tonight, or Brittany the Toxic Avenger, but they have got stingers, and I'd be amiss if I didn't show you what they are. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what you would see if you saw ins and outs. And of course, Brittany the Toxic Avenger. I was going to say, do you know what song that one's from, but I guess it's probably obvious.
I'm so sorry. What were you saying there?
Sorry, it is rather loud, isn't it? I was going to say what the song was from, but I thought it'd be pretty obvious. It was from The Toxic Avenger 2. Couldn't find a theme from the first one, but...
Yeah, I'm keen to do a. I don't know when it. I have to try and remember when it comes out, but whenever it has its 40th anniversary, I definitely want to do a podcast on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of it. I feel like the first one you were getting in touch with your Terry Gilliam, man. That was very Python-esque, mate. Like,
Yes.
really, really was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I like
dear.
it when you
Far out.
come up with an idea and then you just try and see if it works, and kind of did. It's a bit jittery, but yeah, a barbershop quartet with ventricles singing just was
Yep.
too irresistible. And that song as well, that was the barbershop quartet cover that was done of the Bee Gees song God Only Knows, that was featured in BioShock Infinite, the computer
Ah,
game. So,
yeah, okay.
Some great
Yeah.
music in there. They've also got a
There you go.
a pipe organ version of Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It's cool, and that plays with a lot of time travel in that too. So, yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to mention just before we move on?
I just want to extend my thanks again to Roger.
Absolutely.
And coming and joining us for this one. This is great. And just in case, I'm going to plug you again, mate. But if you haven't seen his film, The Marshes, you can actually check it out on Shudder at the moment. Very, very cool film. Go check it out.
Thank you very much. It's very kind. It was fun. Thanks, guys.
No, anytime. You can also see the trailer down there in the link in the description, and I'll see if I can grab that Shudder link, and I'll chuck that down there as well, so you can go directly to that. But yeah, especially if you're Australian and you know the poem, I mean, that, again, is just that grab to me. We're talking about how the folklore is, like, a gripping thing before. Yeah.
It is.
Cool.
Yes. Embeds into the psyche. It's good.
Exactly. Awesome. So, sweet. Well, then we'll move ahead into our Quiz Arena tournament then. Let me just see if I can Goes up there. Awesome, fantastic. So, of course, we have our sponsor this week, which is Krispy Kreme. You can see the amazing Krispy Kreme goodness there, which they have glazed amazingness, like, you know, Berliner-style donuts and all these things. So, yeah, definitely check them out. They're amazing, and we're so happy to have them as a sponsor for this quiz this week. So, yeah, please do get amongst that and share around your love and tell us whether or not you like Krispy Kremes, what your favorite was, and if you tried the Rick and Morty one, because I tried that one and I loved it, and I want to see if anybody thought it was gross, because even though it was pickle-colored and stuff like that, it's still, chef's kiss. But, of course, we'll quickly do a couple of terms and conditions. So, what you'll win in the Quiz Arena tournament tonight is a dozen glazed donuts, courtesy of Krispy Kreme. All you need to do is subscribe to Rushcutter Entertainment on YouTube to compete in the Quiz Arena tournament, which will be taking place in just a moment. It's free to enter, and it's contained to just tonight. You must have a valid Gmail account to participate, and the contestant with the most correct answers will be declared the winner, and will be announced the winner tonight. If the winner has not followed the rules, the contestants will be disqualified. The Quiz Arena tournament leaderboard will be determined by the livereacting.com website. The winner must contact us to claim their prize. We will validate that you are the winner by giving you a keyword, which must be edited into the winning comment. The Quiz Arena tournament winner must contact us within 5 working days, or they will be disqualified, and the prize will roll over to the next Quiz Arena event, and a new winner will be chosen. Any information collected will be used for the sole purpose of delivering the prize to the winner. This contest is not sponsored by YouTube. We are solely responsible for the contest and delivering the prize to the winner. So there's all our T's and C's and fantastic glory, which you can also read just below the video there. So, great. After all that, hope you guys are rip-roaring for 10 fantastic questions. Are you ready, Roger?
Sure.
Great, awesome. Well, let's kick over to it and see if we can get another of our great, little bit jittery, but still just as fun, what are they called? Stingers, that's the one, for our Quiz Arena tournament. Great stuff. Now, we haven't said this before, and I did want to ask any of you out there the little clip of the flying animation that happened there, or video. What was that from? Tell me in the comments below if you know what that was from. As we come back to our Quiz Arena screen here, and we wait our 50 seconds left over, just whilst we get ready for it. And bring it up there. There we are. Good. Awesome.
Nice.
So this is multiple choice questions. All you need to do to play along is to write down the answer in the chat just on the side there. You can punch in the number, but if you also write in the text as well, that will guarantee you that it works. If you're playing on Facebook as well, then you have to write in the whole thing. Luckily on YouTube, it's not so finicky because there's not a spam filter that apparently stops and prevents people from doing that. So yeah, just letting you guys all know the technical things I've been trying to work out behind there, just to make sure it's all above board and that you guys can get that Krispy Kreme goodness very fair. So 7 seconds to go into it before we get into it. Nice. And here we go into our first question for the Quiz Arena tournament. In the film The Pit from 1981, the father recalls an old lady complaining that his son was swinging around naked wearing only what? 1. Superman cape. 2. Rubber gloves. 3. Halloween mask. 4. A homemade bear mask. So, have you guys, either of you seen this film?
I have, and I want to say I haven't. It was one of my ones I've written down. I don't think I've written up my retrospective of it yet. So you got me kind of, but I did watch it this year, and it's a weird film. Have you seen it, Richard?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird one.
It is a weird film.
Some odd stuff. Oh, people are already answering already. Sorry. So I'm going to go with rubber gloves, just off the top of my head, but I can't remember.
Naked, wearing nothing but rubber gloves. Nice.
I'll go Superman cape.
Superman cape, nice, awesome, fantastic. Swinging around obviously could have different connotations.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it makes sense if he was wearing gloves. We've got out there Steve Maresca saying 4, Phil Robinson saying 3, K9 saying 1, Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons saying 2. So the answer was a Superman cape. Kay, you got it,
wow.
and of course you
Well
got
done.
it too. There we are. One more point for you, Roger.
And we've all been there too, haven't we? Again.
Haven't we all in a Superman cape? Or when I was a kid, it was a Super Grover cape.
Oh, Super Grover!
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, our next question. Incorrectly titled Horror Story, the Skyhook song horror movie was used in the end credits for which 2012 film? 1. VHS. 2. The ABCs of Death. 3. Maniac. 4. Dark Shadows. So any of these films have you guys seen?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. My hunch is going to go with Dark Shadows, only because it's got more of a comical tone to it. And I feel like that would be the one. Yeah. But I don't know. I actually don't know for sure. But that would be my guess is for Dark Shadows.
Yeah, nice. That's good. What were you thinking, Roger?
ABCs of Death.
Nice.
Some good directors in that one too.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple. I can't remember all of them, but I remember seeing a few things in that, and because I mean, you know, shorts are hard.
Yeah, to convey stuff too. And I forget which one it is, but the Ben Wheatley one where it's the witch hunter one where you're seeing it from the witch's perspective, getting hunted down by these guys. It's great. I thought it was a really kind of cool take.
Yeah. Cool.
He's good.
Awesome. Well, the answer was the ABCs of Death, so you got another point, Roger.
Man.
Nicely
Well done, Roger.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Nicely done. That was very well done, yeah. It was good, yeah, you had that sort of a memory that went there. I just was trying to think of other films that would have that song in there. What was the number plate in the 1997 Shining miniseries? 1. TRI-019. 2. THX-1138. 3. NFB 418. 4. BMT 216A.
Well, THX 1138 is the early Lucas film. I don't think it is that. I've got I think it had something to do with this whole bat crazy moon landing theory, which would be NFB 418 because it's got.
So you're going to say 418, number 3. Awesome. What would you say, Roger?
Oh, no. Is that
sorry,
right? No.
Bring it
Sorry.
back up. No, you're right. My bad. Yeah, so you're going to say number 3. Awesome. What are you going to say, Roger?
I'll go 216A. Number 4.
Number 4. Awesome. Cool. Number 4 was the number plate for the Aston Martin in the original James Bond.
Of course it was.
Yes, the answer was TRI-019. THX-1138 was, of course, the film. And NFB 418, I think, was the number plate in Psycho.
Oh, that's why it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it was to do with the moon landing, though, wasn't it?
I don't know. In the
Anyway,
2015 German horror film Der Bunker, what do the parents of Klaus say he will one day be? 1. The savior of their people. 2. The president of the United States of America. 3. Dead. 4. A rocket scientist. Have you guys seen Der Bunker?
No, I haven't.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to go with... Is it a comedy?
No, this is actually very similar to The Boy or almost The Orphanage style-wise.
I'm going to go with, what was number 1?
The savior of their people.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that, just for fun.
Cool. So it was the savior of their people, the president of the USA, dead, or a rocket scientist.
Dead.
So you're going to say dead. Nice. Fortunately, both of you are wrong. It's the most unlikely one.
Rocket scientist.
No, the president of the United States of America.
Oh, right.
They're in Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, well, that's clearly wrong because everybody knows you have to be born there to be president.
That's it. It's great. So Kay got that one. Nicely done.
Well done, Kay. Well done.
Sweet. some of these explorations that I've been looking into, a couple of these foreign films, has been hard, but like amazing. So yeah, coming out of on the other end, it's beautiful. What did Michael Haneke, writer and director of Funny Games in 2007, hope audiences would be prompted to do? 1. Write to their local government. 2. Turn it off. 3. Take to the streets. 4. Question their relationships in life.
I thought it was 2.
Cool. So you've heard that also from an interview or something like that with the writer?
Yeah, I thought for some reason that sticks in my mind. I thought he had quite a I don't know. It struck me as slightly confrontational take on things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fairly.
I'm gonna say number 1 by the way before the answer comes up.
Right,
So
to the
just
local-
so I'm saying an
awesome.
answer. Yeah.
Nice. And you're saying, Roger, number 2, turn it off. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, because that's something like taking to the streets, writing to the local government, it sort of gives you that more impression, but I kind of admire the fact that, from what I, again, have heard this from as well, is that, yeah, he wanted people to be so disgusted with it that they turned it off.
Yeah.
And he was quite surprised that when people were, because it was so intense, they wanted to stay through it because they felt so much for the family. And this was also the remake of a film which he had previously made. So, yes, Steve and Phil both got it right. Turn it off. Nicely done.
Well done, guys. Well done. And well done, Roger. I don't know if you tallied a point up for him, but he...
Oh,
Roger
sorry, no, I didn't.
deserves
Thank you.
another
Yes.
point for that. Yeah.
Thank you. What is John Travolta's name in The Fanatic 2019? 1. Squirrel Friend. 2. Moose. 3. Goose. 4. Bear.
2.
You're going to say 2, Moose? Awesome. What would you say, Roger?
I'll go bear.
Bear. Nice.
The one animal I'm truly afraid of.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of John Travolta too, though? That's the question.
I think he'd be scared of John Travolta in The Bear. Yeah.
That is true. I've seen quite a few of his movies, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this one, I think has been, I don't know if it's his most recent, but definitely, like, you know, it got a bit of a panning. It has won a couple of awards, but...
Look, he's got bills to pay. Sometimes he's wonderful and sometimes he's...
Yeah.
Phenomenon. I really like Phenomenon, that film.
Oh,
I can't remember when it
yeah, I
came
remember
out,
that
but
one.
yeah, I thought he was great in that.
I thought he was great in the what was the TV series recently, the O.J. Simpson...
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
The O.J. Simpson series?
Yeah. Nice. Steve and Phil, you both got it. Moose. Nicely done.
There you go.
Can I get a point?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Please do. Please.
Only because I'm worryingly trailing at the moment.
No. Yeah. Thank you. So Moose. Goose was Grease 2 reference. That was the Kaneki in Grease 2.
Oh.
Awesome.
See, I always think of Top Gun. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Who directed Come and See from 1985?
No, that's true.
Oh, 4 names I'm going to completely butcher, so I'm going to keep them up there. 1, Yevgeny Gerasimov. 2, Mikhail Tumanishvili. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm sorry. 3, Leonid Gaidai. 4, L.M. Klimov. I apologize heartedly for my
I think it's
terrible
number
pronunciation.
4 from memory.
Awesome, you're going to get number 4?
Yeah.
Awesome. Has either of you seen this film?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh my
You
god.
can't forget having seen this film.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is a horror film.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Like, wow. Yeah, goosebumps. Sweet. So you're gonna say 4, Saul?
I
would
think
you say,
so.
Roger?
Yeah.
For me, it would literally just be I unfortunately.
I'm just guessing it's 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Unfortunately, it was 4. So Saul
cool.
got the point for that one. Nicely done. But yes,
Yeah, the names kind of stood out. Yeah.
a war film. I think a Russian war film. And it's about the Holocaust. And it's
Yeah.
just the way it's shot is incredible. I won't say any more about it. Just oh my god. Question number 8. Arachnophobia is a film about spiders, but what would the antagonist be if the film were called Electrophobia? Electrophobia with an A. 1. omnivorous megafauna. 2, giant centipedes. 3, electricity. 4, chickens. So that question again. Arachnophobia is a film about spiders, but what would the antagonist be if the film was called Electrophobia? 1, omnivorous megafauna. 2, giant centipedes. 3, electricity. Or 4, chickens.
I really love the idea of omnivorous megafauna, by the way.
I know, right? That'd be great.
I'm going to go, I don't know, chickens.
I'm going 1 because I do love just megafauna, you know.
Yeah. A gigantic sort of like bear wombat thing. Oh.
I like the idea of giant centipede.
Or the prohoptodon, which is a giant kangaroo. It's like a 9-foot tall kangaroo. Crazy. Beautiful. And again, Arachnophobia is a fantastic film. Love that film. So,
yeah, I love that
for
film.
all of you lovers of Latin and etymology out there, it was chickens. Yes, Electrophobia, the fear of hens and chickens. So, I think you got that one, didn't you?
I did, but I was taking the piss.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes that's the best way to go about it.
Accidentally brilliant.
Oh, that
My
was
favourite
funny.
way to be good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, our penultimate question. British self-claimed psychic Doris Stokes, famous for being able to contact Don Lane's dead mother, once wrote a book called 1, Voices in My Ear, 2, Visions in My Head, 3, Spirits in My Cabinet, 4, Hope in My Heart.
It's got to be 3.
Yeah, right?
I'm gonna go with 2.
Awesome. Visions in My Head?
Yeah.
Awesome, nice. For those of you out there, you might know what this is. I'll bring it back to the screen so that we can get your comments up there because I don't think it goes onto the other one. Awesome, fantastic.
Oh yeah, cool. Steve saying 1.
Yeah, so I think this is the same incident in which is being referred to that James Randi had Don Lane get all pissed off at him when he was on that the Don Lane show in the 80s, because James Randi was coming at here with Dick Smith to try and get the psychic challenge going. So, interestingly enough, I like it how you went with Spirits in My Cabinet, because that was the joke.
Oh, well done.
Yes.
Who was that? They got that. Steve, was that?
Steve got that one with Voices in My Ear. That was the name of the book. Yes.
Nice.
So you said Visions in My Head, didn't you, Saul?
I did, yeah.
Yes, nice. Phil said that one as well, but unfortunately that was not correct. But nicely done there. And so into our last question. What does Mick call the procedure he performs on Liz to sever her spine in Wolf Creek from 2005? 1, lampshading. 2, hanging the hog. 3, dead weight donger. 4, a head on a stick.
You're saying 4, Roger. That's where my head was going as well, on a stick.
Because he's just talked about how they did it in Vietnam. Oh, this is what we did in Vietnam. Oh, you keep them alive, a head on a stick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. So you're both saying that?
Yeah, that was where my hunt. Yeah, that's where I was leaning. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that works.
Sorry to be.
No. That's. I'm literally just waiting time out whilst it stops the people from being able to play at home. Now we're okay.
I really love the idea of hanging. Was it hanging the hog?
Yeah, that's because I was thinking, how do I not make it too obvious? But I'm sure everyone remembers this moment. Hanging the hog was dead weight donger. Sound like something to say.
Lampshading. That'd be from. Oh God. Sorry.
I was saying chainsaw. Is it?
Yeah, chainsaw or Clarice Starling.
Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. Sorry, I just had
Ed Gein of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Steve, you got that one as well with a head on a stick. Nicely done. And tallying up our scores. And our winner is Steve Maresca with 6 correct answers. Coming in second, we have Phil Robinson with 5 correct answers. Coming in third, we have K9 with 2 correct answers. Nicely done, guys. Congratulations. Beautiful stuff.
Well done, guys. Thanks for taking part.
Great work. And Steve, if you want to send us an email at surgeons.of.horror@gmail.com, then we'll give you the keyword to pop down in the comment below, and then, we'll get your address and we can send you out those Krispy Kreme goodness. So congratulations. fantastic. Steve's been on before, and he, of course, is starring in Gollum, which is screening at the Sydney Underground Film Festival, which you can get around and see online in there as well. I think we still have the link in the description. If not, it's in the previous one. So yeah, you can check that one out there and enjoy your Crispy Cremes. So yes, he hasn't been able to play before because he's been a guest. Now he's getting amongst it. So beautifully done.
Yeah, well done, Steve.
Fantastic, and of course we've got our scores here. s01e08 coming in with 8 points, and Roger Scott with 10 points, taking it out of the park. Nicely done. Beautiful.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thanks for all the help, guys.
Yeah, it is thanks to you guys out there and the comments that's helped them along there, especially in the Better Beat Saul round, which I think you were helping them out too there, Saul.
Yeah, you know.
That's right. That's why I stay silent. No, I end up doing technical
more.
things in the intro. Beautiful. Fantastic stuff. Well, yeah, so another great round. So sorry about the technical problems where we had to drop off there, but thank you for jumping on board and jumping on board to play the tournament, because that is the most important part, to make sure that you guys can get all of our fantastic prizes. We'll be back again next week on Thursday at 7:30. Make sure that you tell your friends and share it with your families. It doesn't matter if there's multiple people in the same household playing the same games. It all the more increases your chance to win these fantastic prizes. And so we'll have another fantastic prize sponsor for next week. We also do have a couple of affiliate links that are in the description, which you can get Escape Games Online. You can get, I think, 10% off that. And we've also got a Petsies discount down there too, so that you can send in a photo of your adorable pet and have it turned into plush goodness, so that you can crush that as you go to sleep and not worry about suffocating a living thing. So yeah, you can jump on down there and grab those, and we're so happy to have those guys on board to be able to do that. And we wanted to say as well, whilst we're on that same train, get along to see Roger Scott's new film on Shudder, which we'll send the link down there where you can see the trailer as well. The Marshes, which is screening at the moment, and talk about a unique Australian film. I mean, this one is something that I think everyone could appreciate. And yeah, I think share that one around there too. So thank you so much, Roger, for being a part of our little quiz here tonight.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, anytime. We'd love to have you on any other time if you would feel free. If maybe you have some little trivia questions that you know that we don't know that you want to try and test us with.
I doubt that very much. Your library knowledge is formidable.
It's all Saul, trust me. He's the lead surgeon, and that's what makes him that. But still, the fact that you did know, quite a lot of things there, we definitely love to see that. So thank you again so much.
Yeah, thanks for taking part, buddy. It was really appreciate you coming on board.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. And just stick around just after we play our little outro, just so we can say another personal thanks. But again, Saul, thank you for joining us again, jumping on board. And although you didn't win tonight, it's good to see that you have that stiff upper lip and that you're getting on board to even challenge Rhiannon Elizabeth Irons and take that crown away from her.
Yeah. It's all good. It's good to have people on there and mixing things up as well. We've got some people coming back and they're playing really well. It's good to see. So unfortunately, Ree, you weren't able to retain your crown. We have a new winner in Steve. So congratulations to you, Steve. And thanks for everyone for taking part as well. It's been really, really cool. I have to think about what my Better Beat Saul is going to be for next week, though. Time to get the old brain box working again. But thanks for tuning in all the same.
Yes, it's been lovely to have you along. Thank you so much again, Roger. Thank you, everyone, for all of you playing at home. Share it around to your friends, share it around to your loved ones and those you hate. We'll see you again next Thursday here. Same bat time, same bat channel at the Quiz Arena. Thanks so much, guys. Bye. And salute. Prost.